You're watching Good Evening San Diego.
A dramatic turn of events as the Menendez brothers gets a possible second chance at life outside of the prison walls.
The brothers are currently serving their sentence at Otay Mesa's Donovan State Prison for shooting and killing their parents in 1989. Our Tony Shin has the very latest.
I have to tell you that after a very careful review of all the arguments that were made for people on both sides of this equation, I came to a place where I believe that under the law, resentencing is appropriate.
Now joining us is criminal defense attorney Vikas Bajaj to break down what exactly happened today and what's expected to happen next. It sounds like the district attorney looked at some additional evidence. Vic, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Likewise, always a pleasure, Logan. Thank you so much.
What did he look at? There were some letters possibly, and
Yes.
there was this band member from Menudo that had said something. So there were some different things that they were looking at that didn't happen, I guess, in the previous trial.
That's exactly right, and it fits under the umbrella of corroboration. And let's not forget, there were two trials in this matter. The first trial ended up with a deadlocked jury. They couldn't reach a decision. The district attorney turned around quickly and said, hey, we're going to retry this. A lot of public pressure. We want this case tried. We're not negotiating. So they went in the box again, and they presented it to a jury. Between the first trial and the second trial, Kyle Menendez and Eric, to a lesser extent, kind of shot themselves in the foot a bit with recordings and admissions of some exercise of perhaps more than healthy puffery or exaggerations during their testimony. The judge in the second case says, you know what, I don't think the jury should hear a majority of this information regarding physical and sexual abuse, so severely limited the evidence. And as a result, the mitigation, the compromised state of mind, things that may have countered the premeditation that was argued to exist by the jury, was not shown to the jury, and they came back with life without parole as a sentence the judge gave after finding truth to the two allegations of premeditation for the murders.
So the district attorney says, okay, we're now looking at this letter that Eric allegedly sent to a cousin 8 months before the murders, saying that he was molested by his father. Then there was the Menudo band member saying, I was molested by the father as well, by Eric's father. And then I guess prosecutors at the time said that boys couldn't be raped, and we obviously know that that's untrue. So it sounds like now they want to do something. They want to take away the without parole part, right, and make it so that they can get parole. Right.
When you say they, it was really a decision by Gascon, who's running for re-election. So of course, in this position, while he says it didn't have an effect on the decision, of course it does. Voters care about these serious decisions in serious cases. You know, we're talking about 35 years ago. Allegations of sexual abuse at the hands of anyone, but victims being men or women, boys or girls, were treated completely differently. It was always understood and thought, well, hey, a boy, especially a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old, healthy, athletic boys could defend themselves. There's no way this would have happened at that age. Now times have changed, where we understand that the mental crippling that occurs with real allegation of sexual assault can lead to this type of mitigation and a lack of mental intent. Okay. So what the court then said is, I want to know what the district attorney feels about it. Gascon assembled his team, his resentencing team, and his appellate and habeas team, which looks at things outside the record, and said, you know, what's changed? And the answer to that, Logan, is the California law. California legislature says if you're younger than 26 years old, we're going to treat you differently. You're a youthful offender.
Sure. Can I just quickly ask you, what happens next? So now this goes to a judge, and then the judge decides if maybe they reduce the sentence, and then they could go to the parole board and maybe get out?
That's exactly right. And don't forget, the parole board is appointed by the governor. Okay. So you have a real acquiescence that you can expect to happen. Gascon took a very strategic chess move here. He could have unilaterally said voluntary manslaughter, release, but he's saying murder without the lack of parole. Okay. Let's kick it to the Bureau of Prisons and the parole board.
Vikas Bajaj. Thanks, Vic, for providing some insight,
Always
as you always do. All right,
Thank you,
we'll see what happens.
Thank
Teresa?
You.